Aboriginal people have been practicing art for many tens of thousands of years. Our artwork tells stories of creation, laws, significant sites and important events. Tina Moran, a local Anawan woman, and Bevan Quinlan, a proud Dunghutti man, are going to teach you how to create a beautiful artwork so you are able to continue this important practice well into the future.
Some folks make some very unique sounds with their ditch.
Hello everybody, my name is Tina Moran. I'm a proud Anawan woman. I'd like to welcome you all here today for our little art tutorial / workshop.
Hello everyone, my name is Bevan Quinlan. I work at the Oorala Regional Aboriginal Cultural Centre in Keeping Place, and I am a Dunghutti man, and today we're going to be showing you what we have in our art kit.
Soon enough you'll receive a little pack like this in the mail, and in those packs you will receive a canvas, some paints, brushes, a paint palette, and obviously when we're sort of, working through the canvases and painting and stuff, obviously you'll need something to do for your dots. So, if you want to just go outside and grab some sticks or something, skewers are always good, or even the end of your paint brushes. Sometimes I like to work with cotton buds too, they're pretty good. But yeah, whatever you'd like to use, yeah. So first step we're going to do, obviously, open your canvases, and do you want to open that canvas?
Yes, I might need that skewer. Thank you.
And it's probably best to use these big brushes to do your backdrop. So we're going to start off by using a nice dark backdrop. So that way when we do put your colours in, that'll sort of brighten it and make it stand out. So where you might want to start first, obviously, with the big brushes, and we're just going to, as I said, nice dark backdrop on your canvas. If you want to do 1 or 2 coats, 3, just to get it nice and dark. Obviously pre-recorded, we've got some we prepared earlier, so we'll start with those. And just set that one aside.
I'll give you that one.
So in your packs you'll also receive these little paints here. Now they're just basic poster paint. And then you've got these ones, your acrylic paints, which are probably better to use for your symbols, but we'll leave them for now. Where we want to start off with is...
Well, this one's already dry.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard to get these ones in.
Okay, so step 2 is just sort of dabbing on your colours using your sponge. We've got these paints here that you'll get in your packs, and these acrylics as well, but the acrylics we want to sort of hold off for our symbols because they're a lot thicker. There's sort of more coverage in that sense. So we'll go ahead and just put a bit of paint for a back. Just dab it a bit on. They obviously are stuck there, so I'm just going to throw a bit on here. Maybe a bit of red here. The more colours you use, the better. You can blend them in however you like. Because it's just poster paint, it may not be the best. However, if you do have paint at home, feel free to use it, like acrylic or household paint. So we're going to wet our sponge. And basically all we're doing is just blending it in.
Another sponge.
Got one.
Blending it in to make patterns. So we're not really following any sort of pattern or anything, just however you want to do it. You can blend 3, 4 colours, if it's just 1 or 2 that you want. It helps too if you wet your sponge a little bit more, because it helps the colour spread around a bit more and then dry a bit quicker. How you going there, Bev?
Yeah, going alright. It is a little dark. Not enough brighter colours. You can just see them.
So I don't think it really matters whether you do use dark or lighter colours, because when you put your symbols on, I think that's what's going to sort of stand out the most. So yeah, we'll let those dry and then we'll come back with step 3. Okay guys, so we're up to step 3. So we've finished our canvases. Obviously just, a bit of background and sponging here and there. Next, I would like you all to think about symbols. Things that mean most to you, whether it's family, you want to put something on there that maybe would represent the country you're from. If it's a special kind of waterhole that's sacred to you and your mob, or whatever it may be, trees, mountains, and just interpret it in your own way onto your canvas. So have a think about that first before you sort of start onto it straight away, and just bear in mind that when we talk about symbols, how would you say it? What were you saying with the...
The most common symbols that you would probably see is like the circles within a circle, with the shapes of a boomerang on the side of them. On the outer side of them, and they would either be having a spear or a smaller shaped boomerang. That would mean a man, and for a woman it would be a coolman with just a straight stick. That would be a digging stick to dig up yams and also honey hands. The man is with a boomerang and also a spear, and the woman is with a digging stick and a coolman.
Tell your story. What means most to you, or what does art mean to you? Your culture, just, I guess, thinking about maybe telling like a life story, if that helps. Your journey about maybe sometime that you found difficult throughout your lifetime, and you may want to put that down, or a happy moment, something that means most to you, and think about what symbols you would use to interpret that, and maybe do a little sketch on a piece of paper first, and then we can go ahead and put that down. So we'll come back with step 4. So if you decide that you want to do some dots, again, as I mentioned earlier, you can use the ends of a paintbrush. I'm actually using the end of a texter, Sharpie, for the bigger dots, but whatever size, again, sticks. And when you are dotting, just keep in mind that you kind of want to go from the top just straight down, so that you're not sort of got your hands or your arms all over the place and smudging things. I make that mistake a couple of times, where I sort of forget that this side's wet and I'm dotting, and so if you want to dot, just remember, sometimes I do this. It helps me keep a steady hand as well. And what I'm doing now is just sort of a quick and easy way to do footprints. So just painting on the side, putting it in a fist like this, pressing down, and then you can just, again, dotting some toes. outline it, you can. So maybe if I sort of want to make it stand out just that little bit more, I'll get a tiny little thin brush and just, or a Sharpie. You could use a Sharpie, and it allows you to be a bit more neater with your lines.
For my painting, I thought I'll paint a water animal. Through my mother's side, she's a coastal person, and through my father's side as well, is a coastal, from Queensland to New South Wales. For my painting, it's a painting of a jewfish, which swims around in fresh water. A jewfish is a catfish. And the story behind my painting is I grew up fishing all my life, and I've got a lot of memories with going with my grandparents and also with my aunties and uncles, and that'll always bring us together to go out and have a good fishing day, but also just coming together and having fun. When this one's finished, I was thinking about basically what I've used on the land with, like, you can't always just carry a fish, so we would, my uncles and auntie have taught me, like, you got to grab a branch and you stick your fish through the gills, and that's more easier to carry it along. So you break a branch off, that's more like a hook, so you could continuously put more fish on and just carrying it if you don't got a basket or a bag to carry a quantity of fish.
In my painting, I've kind of tried to reflect a story that represents me, obviously, and what I've chosen to do is these three symbols here represent each three of my grandmothers. They are from different nations. So there's my grandmother from the Biripi Nation. Was born and raised in Taree. My grandmother, who is a Yorta Yorta woman from Kumragunja, and my nanny here, she was an Anawan woman, born and raised here. And basically, you know, the footprints are me sort of going through life on this journey, learning about each one of them, and I guess taking something from that, you know, what I learn about them, so that it helps me to be a better person. Down here in the corner, I've sort of mixed in a bit of blue because although I was born and raised here in Armidale as an Anawan woman, I've still had those connections to the coast through my coastal mob. And I've always kind of enjoyed being on the coast, so a lot of my paintings are sort of around coastal drawings of sea turtles and dolphins and that sort of thing, because that's, I guess, not something that I normally do. It's just something that I enjoy doing, although, you know, I do try to try other things every now and then. So yeah, hopefully by the time that I've finished this, you'll get a sort of a bigger picture of, and it's just about me sort of going through life on a journey, learning about three predominant women who meant a lot to me.